Welcome back to another tutorial. Now if you haven't been here before, my name is Sharon and I'm a great lover of using vintage floral containers, but today we've got a brand new base that is available from Oasis, and I'll link the product in the description box right at the very end. Now if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then please do so. Hit that notification bell and that will help other people find the channel and be able to access all these really exciting tutorials. Now I try to give you tutorials for a whole range of floral designs, both modern and traditional, using vintage containers and new containers. The ones that get viewed the most are the traditional arrangements and those basic designs that you learn when you first start flower arranging. So today I'm going to do a triangle arrangement, but I'm going to do it in a little bit more of a modern way. So we're going to group the flowers together rather than creating something that's quite visually symmetrical. Now the base that I've got is quite visually heavy. It's a very dominant container. So ideally I need to choose flowers that are quite large and impressive, because then they're going to blend more effectively with my container. If I was to choose soft, delicate flowers, it probably wouldn't work quite so well. But it's a really, rigid, robust container, and that needs to be reflected in my flower choice. So I'm going to go with a beautiful selection of autumnal flowers. Some of them you might have seen before in previous videos. I tend to get in flowers and then do a run of videos, so you might have seen these flowers and colours before, but it really goes to show how versatile all these different flowers can be. Traditionally, we would go twice the height of the container, and those proportions are going to work really well for today's arrangement because my container is tall and narrow. So generally speaking, we go at least twice the height of our container, and because this is very visually heavy, I could even go a little bit taller to help visually balance off the arrangement. Now I've already pre-soaked my floral foam and I've placed a whole block this time into the container. If you don't want to use a whole block and you want to save a little bit of money, then just fill the bottom part of your container with some wet sand or with some old Oasis pieces, and it'll be a little bit more economical for you to do. So it's the autumn, and one of the flowers that's really easily available in the autumn, of course, is the Gladioli, and I've got this lovely rich sort of burgundy colour, and this is going to create the height of my arrangement at the back. So I'm starting by placing my flowers into the foam at the back. I'm not bringing anything too far forward yet. I'm in the back and I'm in the centre. And then what I'm going to start by doing is adding almost like a group of the Gladioli at the back. Now traditionally we would probably spread those out to give you that triangular effect, but I'm going to use them almost in a block to give us a little bit more of a modern version of that triangle. And then I'll continue that theme of blocking and grouping the flowers together so we get a different version of that triangle. Now traditional rules tell us that once we gauge the height, we can roughly halve that, and that will give us our width, and that will give me a triangle that's taller than it is wide. You could easily go just as wide and make a triangle that has the same measurement for all three sides, but I'm going to go slightly narrower on the side, and for that, or for one side of that, I'm going to use a really lovely spray rose, pale yellow, lemon sort of colour. It's quite a bushy, heavy stem, and I don't need to use all of that. So I'm going to look at my different flower heads, and I think this one is going to work much better on the outside because it's the smaller head and it's not as visually heavy as the others. If I roughly work out half of that height, that hopefully is going to give me a good measurement for the side. And what I'm going to do is angle it slightly downwards. If I come across at this position here, it almost looks like the arrangement has been plonked on the top of my container rather than purposefully arranged. So I'm going to angle it down slightly. And what I'm doing here is arranging in the back part of the floral foam, almost lined up with where my Gladioli are. And I'm going to remove some of the greenery because it's a bit fussy, but I'm back in the foam. I'm not here right towards the front. So I'm in line with my gerber at the back, and I'm angling them slightly downwards so I get a more pleasing shape there at the side. And then I'll choose some more of the stem of the spray rose, and what I'm going to do here is cut it in half so I get 2 stems out of 1 flower head. And I'm almost going to bring a group or a block here at the front of that lovely yellow colour, and that is starting to create that outline shape of a triangle. All this area will need to be filled in, but if we draw an imaginary line from the top to the bottom, we've got a bit of a triangle starting to take place. Now, in a traditional arrangement, let's slide over so you can see me. In a traditional arrangement, you would balance this off with the same colour and the same flower on the opposite side. But just to give you a different version of a triangle, I'm going to put something different on the opposite side. If you're a real lover of symmetry and matching flowers on either side, then you might not like this version, but it's something different for you to see. And what I'm going to use here is a different colour flower, but something that's a fairly similar size and shape. So this is a spray chrysanthemum. This is a Santini variety, so it's that much smaller head. The variety of this one is called Lobster, and the colour really does reflect the shades of a lobster itself. And I'm going to repeat the exact same shape that I've got on the opposite side. So I'm angling that stem downwards, and then I'm going to match it with another chrysanthemum head to form a pattern that's similar from one side to the other. This type of arrangement can be quite useful if you're using mixed bunches of supermarket flowers where you don't have enough flower content to exactly replicate the shape and style on either side. I know sometimes when you're arranging flowers for the church, it can be a little bit difficult. You might have been donated flowers, or the budget might be quite small, and sometimes it's really hard to have enough flowers to make a matching pattern on either side. So this is a style that can sometimes work really well. So you will hopefully see now that my shape on either side is similar, but the colour doesn't match, but the shape I've created is fairly symmetrical and it's given me quite a clear outline shape. Now I've got a really lovely soft grass. This one is very much like a little mini Pampas grass, and the colour is quite similar to my yellow rose. So I don't want to add the yellow on this side because then I have a lot of that one colour on this left hand side. So what I'm going to do here is put it on the opposite side so we get a matching link from one side of the arrangement to the other. And I'm going to place this in nice and high right at the back of my foam, and I've cut one piece into 2 separate pieces so that I can get that to go a little bit further and fill in a bit of a bigger gap. Beautiful textured material, soft and wispy. And if you've got decorative grasses in the garden, you might have Pampas grass, they all work really well in the autumn for flower arranging. So even though we haven't got that repeated matching pattern, we have got a colour balance from one side to the other. And then to fill in this area here, to copy this side but using a different colour, I'm going to use the copper beech, and it's the nearest sort of colour link I had to the chrysanthemum. It's not perfect, but it's going to give me a bit of a repeated colour link on one side. And what I'm really trying to do is just visually balance off one side of the arrangement to the other. This copper beech has been bought from the florist supplies, but you might be lucky enough to have it growing in the garden. And I'm thinking that because I've got a chrysanthemum here towards the front, I need to bring another one of the roses slightly further forward, and I still have one stem left. Now if you don't have any spray roses, this could be a spray carnation, you could use a freesia, but I've come forward with this one, so I needed to balance that off on the opposite side. So effectively we have an outline shape that's a triangle, but we've grouped all the flower content together to give it a slight twist on that very traditional floral design. Now right at the front I have a gap here, and that would really suit something that was trailing, and I'm lucky enough to have some of these wonderful trailing Amaranthus. This one is obviously much too long to go in that position there, so I'm going to have to cut this down. The variety for this one I think is Brown Spider. It's quite an unusual variety that I haven't worked with before. But just by grouping this in the front, it's going to give me a lovely piece of downward movement. It's going to soften that very rigid and heavy container that I've got. And it's going to introduce a sort of softer texture there towards the bottom. A really pretty soft flower to have at the back. That really does blend in well with all of my other colours. Now I'm just going to introduce a bit of yellow onto that side, and that's going to be with this lovely Kangoroo Paw. If you haven't seen this one before, this is Amaranthus. It's a really interesting flower content that looks exactly like what I imagine a Kangoroo Paw to be like. And I'm going to place this just in front of that soft wispy grass to bring in that yellow colour in. A few pieces there grouped together on one side, and now I need to consider another textured material to come opposite that. And for that I'm going to use something called a Chasmanthe, but it looks very much like the heads off the Montbrechias, but it's this lovely little buried material that is going to work fabulously on my left as I'm looking at it. So 3 stems of those, almost in the same position as the Kangoroo Paw on the opposite side. And what I'll do when I finish this one is I'll take it apart and I'll redo it in a more traditional style, so you get to see the contrast of the 2 designs. Those types of designs always seem to be really popular and well loved on the channel. So we're almost down now to the final area in the arrangement that needs covering, and I'm now going to use an orange rose. This one I've had in the studio for a few days, so it is starting to open up quite nicely. But I'm going to cluster these together on one side. This is probably the tallest one I've got. Remember that some of these flowers have been used in previous designs, so that I'm a bit limited with the length of the stem. But what I'm going to do here is think about clustering them together on the left hand side of the arrangement. I've got 5. And really going to highlight the colour and the texture by grouping them together. If you haven't got roses, this could be a large carnation or a gerbera, although I think that it's quite easy nowadays to get a hold of fairly inexpensive roses from the supermarket. So that's the 5 roses in position, and hopefully now you can see a lovely block on one side. And because it's a big flower and it's quite open, so it's showing a lot of colour, I need something that's fairly large on the opposite side to balance it off. And this time I've got these really unusual dried Proteas. Now if you're lucky enough to be in the Western or Eastern Cape or in South Africa, you might have these growing in your garden, but these have been dried and preserved. They've also had a little bit of orange spray paint to give them that nice autumnal look. These are going to work so well on the opposite side, alongside those roses, grouped in there nice and tightly to give me a bit of visual dominance on that one side. And hopefully now you can see a different version of that triangle starting to take shape. If we think about the outside line, we can follow it all the way to the top, and there's a fairly good triangular outline. I'm just going to strengthen this sort of side here because I feel there's a bit of a gap here where that pale sort of lemon coloured spray rose is. Often when you're working on right on top of an arrangement like I am, every now and again I stand back a little bit away from the arrangement just to see how the shape is coming together, and I felt this area was a bit weak. And now that I'm really happy with that outline shape, it's just a case now of filling in the back section with a little bit of greenery, and for that I'm going to use some eucalyptus. And of course then I need to fill in the front and make sure that there's no floral foam visible. I think that with this very woody heavy base, my colour choice and my selection of flowers works really well to link with the container. As I bring it to the front, I'm just going to tuck some very small short pieces of the eucalyptus in, just where I can see some of the floral foam peeking through. You could use some moss just tucked in because that would give a lovely autumnal feel. Or if you've got any large hydrangea heads, then you could break those down and fill in the gaps as well. Just remember to keep the filler material really close to the foam so that you don't lose that outline shape that you've spent a long time creating. Now I think in an ideal world, if I had one more of the orange roses, I would sit it slightly further back, but I don't have one, so I'm going to have to leave the design just like that. I'm absolutely loving that. And that would look so lovely on a hall table or an entranceway. Be real striking design for autumn. Don't forget to pop back in a week or two's time to see this design created in a more traditional manner. If you haven't already subscribed, then please do so. Hit that notification bell if you want to be told every time I upload a new video. And I look forward as ever to seeing you for the next video. So thanks for watching and goodbye for now.